High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
And we are live in Manhasset, New York, Ed Walsh Field, as the Nassau County Class B quarterfinals will get underway between the 7th seed, Mepham, and the number 2 seed, Manhasset, coming in with an 11-5 record, as Mepham is 10-7. So glad you could join us. Lance Meadow with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, as this is a Manhasset team that has scored in double-digit goals in 10 of their 16 contests thus far this season. This has been one of the consistent programs that you're going to find in Nassau County as they look to get back to the semifinals, the 2-time state title holders, whereas Mepham is a younger team built around a lot of sophomores, and they have a huge chip on their shoulder. It would be extremely meaningful for their senior class to get to Hofstra in the next round. And there are a lot of key players to focus on in this contest. Let's start with the Pirates, as Mepham is going to be leaning on Owen Heller from an offensive perspective. He has 24 goals. That's second on the team, 42 points. That also puts him second, all-county a year ago. Jack Weber is the heart and soul of their defense. He's going to cover the number 1 opposing player. He leads the way with 24 ground balls. Let's go over to Manhasset and their players to watch, and also just as much of a balanced attack. When it comes to the offense, it's all about Danny Colin, the lone captain of the team, all-county a year ago, 33 goals, second on the team. He leads the way with 60 points. And then on the defensive side, it is Arik Selura, tough, athletic player, good communicator, as he sets the tone on the opposite side of the field. Mepham, in terms of their makeup, I mentioned this is a team defined by a boatload of sophomores, and the nucleus is going to be around for years to come. But in addition to Heller, it's all about their attack. Connor O'Rourke, speaking of the sophomores, he has 24 goals. Another sophomore, Steven Zweigbaum, with 27 goals, and Alessandro Walitis leads the way with 34, 46 points, putting him second on the team. Their goaltender throughout the course of this game is going to be none other than Vinny Ciro, another sophomore, 63% save rate on the year, 166 saves against 99 goals allowed, and he's been lights out, an extremely athletic player. And one of the things that Ryan Walsh, the head coach, said, he commands the D. Jack Weber leads the defense. And speaking of that, that brings us to Ryan Walsh, who took over the program a year ago. 21 wins total thus far in his head coaching tenure. He went to MacArthur, where he also was an assistant for 6 years. And he is trying to get this program to the semifinals. As far as the home team is concerned, their makeup, a veteran-laden team. We talked about Danny Colin, but you got to focus on Connor Sheeran, 36 goals. That leads the team. And then also Daniel O'Connor, who they call Doc, out of the midfield, heading to Colby College with 14 goals and 18 assists. Manhasset is going to be leaning on Henry Griffith in goal, the senior who is committed to play at Franklin and Marshall. We look at his numbers, 65% save rate, 102 saves against 55 goals allowed. And in the last game against Roslyn, 8 saves, 6 goals allowed. He was at 57%. The head coach of Manhasset, Keith Cromwell, in his 9th year, going back to 2017, went to Hicksville High School, then went on to Rutgers, where he was the all-time scoring leader, 2-time captain, and 3-time All-American. And he was inducted into the Long Island Lacrosse Hall of Fame in 2013. So he brings a wealth of experience to this team, and he was here when they won state titles in 2022 and 2023. And that is going to be another chapter that he's looking for to add into the mix. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have keys to the game and the opening face-off. It's the Nassau County Class B playoffs here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash! What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
And we are back here at Ed Walsh Field on the campus of Manhasset High School as we gear up for the Nassau County Class B quarterfinal matchup between Mepham and Manhasset. Let's take you through the keys to today's game. And for Mepham, it's about controlling the faceoffs. They need to steal possessions. Good off-ball defense and great communication. Why? Because Manhasset is excellent in terms of cutting towards the cage, and they have to play fast right away. They need to keep the game close. For Manhasset, win the faceoff, collect the ground balls, make it as mucky as possible was what Keith Cromwell talked about. Play with tempo and energy on offense, be efficient in the 6-on-6 game, don't chase the clock, and then take away their known weapons, meaning Mepham's weapons, and it starts, of course, with Owen Heller. So this is a Manhasset team that has posted an 11-5 mark, 7-2 in conference play. They had 2 games at home to close out the regular season. They topped Roslyn 11-6. Prior to that, they beat Southside 14-8. Mepham is coming off a first-round victory Tuesday, 16-7, over 10th seed Jericho. They led 12-1 at the break and did not look back. They went 2-2 in their last 4 games of the season. As we are inching closer to the opening face-off between both of these teams. One of the things that Ryan Walsh mentioned, he felt earlier in the season his team has been battle-tested based on their schedule. They played some of the power conference teams, and in most of those games he pointed out that the first quarters have been close, which proves that they can hang around with a caliber of an opponent like Manhasset. And interestingly, when you look at the number breakdown this season, opponents have outscored Manhasset by 1 goal in the first quarter, 32-31. Different story, though, in the second and third when they outscore opponents 97-58. So here are the 2 men that will be facing off, Braden Kehoe and Bolt Dillmeyer. Dillmeyer, the freshman, Kehoe, the junior, and they're both just over 70% on the season. And one of the keys, again, from Mepham is to steal possessions and control the faceoffs, and they accomplished that goal right out of the gate initially. As this ground ball bounced all around and will stay in possession with the Pirates. So Mepham got out to a really good start against Jericho on Tuesday. In the first round, they're looking to pick up where they left off. As we see Walaitis and company not wasting any time getting on the board. His 35th goal of the season, which leads the team, and Mepham strikes first here 1-0 in the early goings. As we take another look right out of the X position, off the dodge, slings it sidearm, and puts it right past Henry Griffith for goal number 1. So clearly the Pirates got exactly what the doctor ordered, as Walaitis committed to Nassau Community College. 9 multi-goal games coming into this contest. He was honorable mention All-County a year ago, All-Conference in 2023. And the lefty going to work right away. So Manhasset now in possession, looking for the equalizer. And so far this game is following the script that we talked about off the top. In terms of Manhasset not necessarily being a team that jumps on you right away, but they have proven to be a team that could easily rally, and it's one of the things that Keith Cromwell is looking out of his squad. He says he could tell in the first quarter what type of a game it's going to be based on whether or not they could spread the wealth on the offensive side. Here's Dylan Shear, the junior midfielder, tightly defended with 25 on the shot clock as they work it around the perimeter. They have assisted on 61% of their goals this season, and that pass nearly executed in the crease, and coming out with it is going to be Vinny Ciro. So doing a nice job making his presence felt in front of the cage, and Mepham is able to silence Manhasset on their first possession. So here come the Pirates looking to pad their lead after Alessandro Walaitis put them on the board early. As that pass goes wide, it will stay with Mepham. Cameron Lubrano, senior midfielder, gives it up to James Schmidt. as he lets one go and it bounces through. And how about the Mepham Pirates strike yet again with 2 early goals here in the first quarter. And James Schmidt comes through with his 18th of the season as we take another look from left to right, and very similar to Walitis, the sidearm release. And Schmidt, just like his teammate, 5 multi-goal games this season, and he had a goal and an assist in the first round against Jericho. Talking with Ryan Walsh earlier this week, he said Schmidt's got so much potential. He's going to be a very good player for this program moving forward. He dodges, he utilizes his speed, shoots hard, does a little bit of everything. And he transferred from Chaminade. So they are certainly excited to have him in the mix. As Manhasset, the home team and the higher seed now, looking to get on the board for the first time. Tommy Leader, junior midfielder, with 7 multi-goal games this season, gives it up as Shear takes over. He's got an alley. He's going to reset here out of the X spot. Keith Cromwell calls him an old-school throwback, Shear. Does all the little things that don't always show up in the box score. .22 on the shot clock for Manhasset, and it is Vinny Ciro that denies Leader off the offering. So the sophomore goaltender is putting the clamps down in quarter number 1, with Manhasset still looking for answers. Ciro transferred from Kellenberg, took over the starting job from senior Nick Lemus, who had started since his freshman year. They split the non-league games, but Ciro earned the full-time job because he was the one that shined in the first few contests, and he has not relinquished that job since. Mepham with a 2-goal advantage as we approach the 8-minute mark here in the first quarter. And good defense up top here by Manhasset. They get it into the X position with 10 on the shot clock. Here's Schmidt, who had a goal on the last possession. He's going to have to let it fly, and he coughs it up. And that is going to be a shot clock violation. So Manhasset, with outstanding defense and intensity, denies Mepham from adding to its tally. And now back to work goes Manhasset with Leader in possession. And he's going to leave it to Cooper Harley, junior midfielder.
Ball carrier for Manhasset at midfield.
We talked about the fact that opponents are outscoring Manhasset in quarter number 1, so this is not necessarily out of character. And the pass across the post, nearly shot. As they try to reset here, and it's Vinny Ciro again getting in the mix. As it's a loose ball, the ground ball will roll all the way out, and it will be handled by Manhasset. So here comes Connor Sheeran with a team-high 36 goals to go along with 10 assists. Leader looking for an alley, and he loses control of it just as he was going to unleash it. So both teams setting the tone on the defensive side as we approach the 6-minute mark here in quarter number 1, with Mepham an opportunity to add to its tally here. And a near takeaway, and it will go down as one, with Manhasset now taking over and still trying to get one beyond Ciro. We have seen them get some penetration, but it has been very tough sledding for them to get a shot off. Daniel O'Connor, the senior midfielder, with 32 points on the season, giving it up to Shear here, out on the perimeter. And that feed mishandled. And in front It is Ciro that is able to gobble it up. So the storyline thus far is the sophomore goalie from Mepham. And you could see why he secured the starting job and beat out a senior. And you wonder also the difference between a team that played in the first round versus a team that got a bye and hasn't played in a week. Is that perhaps influencing what we're seeing here early on in the first quarter? As Mepham lets it fly, and that shot goes wide. Walaitis trying to get his second goal of the evening. Out of the X, off the spin, and that is going to count as he dunks it through Griffith. Goal number 3 for Mepham. It's Owen Heller with his 25th of the season. As you're going to see Heller spin off of a defender and then throw it through. And Griffith was up high, and he got it top left shelf beyond the goalie. So Heller, Schmidt, and Walaitis each with a goal. And it's a 3-0 advantage for the 7th seed here in the Nassau County Class B quarterfinal. Manhasset, the number 2 seed. As we approach 4 minutes here in the first quarter. So glad you could join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. The home team still looking to strike gold. They have 26 seconds on the shot clock as they play catch up top. Colin off the spin. Still looking for an opening, and Ciro able to get a stick in the way. He has been absolutely outstanding. As you see him move left to right, operating off that left post, and this time he can't stop the momentum. Cooper Harley with his first goal of the day and his 4th of the season, and Manhasset finally gets on the board with 3:32 to go in quarter number 1 as Harley whipped it with the left hand. And we'll see whether or not that could change the trajectory of this game. Harley, he's been battling a bit of an injury as of late, but not showing any signs of slowing down there. And came into this season with a lot more experience compared to last year. And Keith Cromwell talking about he's come a long way compared to the rest of the roster. So Mepham still holding on to a 2-goal lead with Braden Kehoe off the face-off victory, trying to set up a teammate. Here's Walaitis. Loses his footing. And Colin Kelly, the defender, in the right place at the right time to try to set up his offense. And we're going to have a timeout here with 2:55 to go in the first quarter. A reminder that the 2025 Nassau County playoffs can be seen right here on Varsity Media. It is your home for the Section 8 playoffs. You go to varsitymediapass.com to order. And this game in the quarterfinals has been shaping up for quite the showing, with the lower seed, Mepham, with a 2-goal lead over number 2 seed Manhasset, 3-1. Let's take a look at the bracket. So the winner of this game will advance to go to Hofstra on May 28th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern to face the winner of the 3-6 matchup, which is taking place as we speak between Cary and Long Beach. That's the bottom of the bracket. We see also what's going on at the top of the bracket. Top seed Garden City, Roslyn and Calhoun, the 4-5 matchup, as those games also happening as we speak. And the winners will all advance to Hofstra for the semifinals and the championship game. An atmosphere that Manhasset has tasted in recent history. State champs in 2022 and 23, and right now they've got a situation where they have to put on the rally caps as they try to dig themselves out of what started as an 0-3 deficit. So out of the timeout here, Manhasset will get its attack going. Cooper Hartley with their lone goal. And this is where you lean on Danny Colin, the captain, the only player given this honor this season because he's the only player with 4 years of service. And he will be heading to Navy. It is a role that Keith Cromwell was extremely confident that he could handle. As they work it out of the X position, and the feet in the crease, just off the mark from Connor Sheeran. But Manhasset able to retain possession here with a fresh clock. Colin looking for an opening, and he is not given any breathing room whatsoever. As he circles right to left, and Ciro gets down and dirty for the denial. And Mepham is going to be in possession here. So the Pirates, once again, dictating the tone of this contest. Now about a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. And you could see the intensity increasing on every possession as now Mepham is going to take a timeout for them to regroup and talk things over, given the approach here by Manhasset and how all of a sudden you're seeing the pressure rise just as they bring it across midfield. Let's take a look at the college commits here for the Pirates. You see Owen Heller is heading to UMass Amherst. Braden Kehoe will take his talents to Iona, and then Jack Weber, the leader, the heart and soul of the defense, off to Penn State. And Weber, it's quite the story for him because he missed the first 6 games of the season due to a broken arm he suffered while wrestling. They actually thought he'd miss half the year, but he had a very quick recovery, bounced back, and was back on the field much sooner than they had anticipated. And in his absence, it was Matt Biscardi, the senior, who took over the leadership angle. But as Ryan Walsh noted to me when I spoke to him earlier in the week, it's a completely different story when Jack Weber is on the field. And we see him head back with his teammates. All conference a year ago. He takes pride in covering the opposing top player, and he's been on varsity since 9th grade. So he's been a staple of the program. Lubrano boxed out as Schmidt takes over. They've got 36 seconds on the shot clock as they look to regain a 3-goal lead. And a side swipe goes right into the back of the net. My goodness, what a release to make it 4-1 in favor of Mepham. And let's take another look at this. Well defended, but a little in and out action, and just rifles one through. As he was trying to dance with the defense. That was quite a shot by Connor O'Rourke, the sophomore, with his 25th goal of the season. Came in tied for 3rd. And he had a goal and 3 assists against Jericho in the first round on Tuesday. So we have seen 3 of the 4 players that have scored in Tuesday's game get on the board yet again here in this contest. Under a minute to go. Manhasset lets one fly, and Ciro says, not on my watch, as that came from Dylan Shear. So quickly back the other way comes Mepham. They've got 30 seconds to operate here, and they are not looking to waste this chance. Schmidt looking for an alley on the right side. That one goes wide. So 12.7 seconds to go here. And they're going to get another shot off just off the cross. So 6.3 seconds. This has been an eventful first quarter. Lubrano will start things up. Can he get one off here with 2 seconds? Well defended, and that is going to do it for quarter number 1. The 7th seed Mepham Pirates with a 4-1 lead over number 2 seed Manhasset. As we look at Alessandro Walaitis getting on the board, Ciro all over the place to deny Manhasset's attack as you're watching the Nassau County Class B quarterfinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
And a great turnout here at Manhasset High School for the quarterfinals of Class B in Nassau County. As we see, filled to capacity the stands, and they have been entertained over the course of the first 12 minutes of this contest. Certainly hope that the home team would be in front, but Mepham giving Manhasset everything it can handle in this 2-7 matchup. 4 different players scoring for the Pirates. Walaitis, O'Rourke, Heller, and Schmidt. 2 attackers, 2 midfielders, as we get ready for the opening faceoff to quarter number 2. And this is a big opportunity for Dillmeyer, the 9th grader, who comes in with a 73% faceoff win rate. And instead, it is Mepham that steals yet another. So Ryan Walsh talked about the key was you've got to win the faceoffs. You have to steal possessions. His team has responded. They have answered the call in that department with flying colors. Schmidt out of the X. O'Rourke already has a goal in this game, and you could tell he plays much bigger than his small stature. That one wide. 20 on the shot clock. Mepham still looking to attack as that one sails high off the stick of Lubrano. O'Rourke was pulled up this year. Smallest kid on the field, but you could tell that does not cause him to be shy at all as he tries to get a pass in the crease. And that is going to be a shot clock violation. So Manhasset will take over, as they did a nice job backing up Henry Griffith. Will give up the outlet and try to provide a spark for his teammates.
Leader with the clear.
Leader last year logged some good minutes as a sophomore, but this season they were looking for him to break out of his shell. And he came through with 22 goals coming into today, third on the team, 14 assists, so that gives him 36 points, which is tied for third on the squad. Colin out of the X. Cooper Harley is the only player that has scored thus far for Manhasset. Daniel O'Connor will give it up. Can Colin solve the riddle? He goes in and out of traffic, and that one is through. So the senior captain with his first goal today, 34th on the season, and they cut the deficit in half. We've got a 4-2 game here in the second, as that one right from the top. He had 3 defenders in the vicinity, and it absolutely made no difference. Right side, right beyond zero. Did not see that one coming. And Manhasset is going to control the faceoff.
Secures the faceoff win for Manhasset.
And they are looking to get one off here. Getting it into the stick of Colin. He had a goal in the last possession, and he's going to just miss out on getting another. Phil Palumbo, the sophomore, 6 of his 13 goals have come in the last 2 games. And when I asked Keith Cromwell what has brought that out of him, he said he's just taken advantage of his opportunities. It's as simple as that. Nine minutes to go in the second quarter. Manhasset looking to storm a comeback here. Shear boxed out a bit, as Shearer now will take over. Colin sets a screen. He had an open look, but he's going to give it up. 13 on the shot clock, and Ciro comes through with yet another save. O'Connor could not push it through. Vinny Ciro has been a madman this afternoon. And he's going to watch now his teammates go back to work, as that was a near turnover. And Mepham is going to salvage it. The feed in front, and it's another goal for the Pirates. And the smallest man playing with the largest bravado, Connor O'Rourke, with his second goal. It's a 5-2 game. As we look at O'Rourke one-on-one with Griffith, but it's all about the feed here from Owen Heller. He was able to run past multiple defenders, and O'Rourke spot on. His 8th multi-goal game of the season. And just great movement without the ball, anticipating what Heller was going to do, positioned himself in front, got a high percentage look, and the rest is history. So Mepham able to restore what has been, for the most part of this game, a 3-goal advantage. As we near 7.5 minutes here in the first half. Shear from the right side, and it bounces past Ciro. So it's a 5-3 game, and it is Shear with his first goal today, as he was able to just bounce it right to left. The junior midfielder told Mepham to get out of the way, and it was Eamon O'Connell, their long stickman, who was actually defending him on that play. And Shear took a great angle. Last year was banged up in the playoffs. This year, healthier. And you're seeing the results. And a tough fight for the face-off, and it is won again by Manhasset. As Mikey Bichol able to grab the ground ball. And that has been a huge difference maker as of late in this game. Why have the scales tipped? Well, Manhasset's starting to win faceoffs. Leader draws the double in the crease. The beautiful feed sets up O'Connor for another goal. And just like that, it is a one-goal game. Manhasset knocking on the door, 5-4. O'Connor, his 15th of the season from point-blank range. As we see Leader draw in two defenders, and that gave O'Connor ample time and space to operate. So Colby College, all smiles that they're going to be getting that young man. A violation will hand it to Mepham. As now they're starting to feel the pressure, something that they have dealt with throughout the season. It has been a year highlighted by highs and lows. Ryan Walsh talked about how battle-tested his team is. Well, this is a golden opportunity to respond. As that shot blocked, it's a scramble for the ground ball, and out of the pack comes Manhasset. Lachlan Fitzpatrick, the long stickman. They get it to Colin. And they'll settle down now here with O'Connor out of the X. They're looking for that elusive equalizer. As that shot bounces in front and goes wide. Cooper Harley will jumpstart things yet again. Manhasset with 3 goals thus far in this quarter, and you could give them 4. They once again find the back of the net. Tommy Leader getting on the board for the first time, his 23rd goal. Leader has been facilitating. This time, it's a one-man show, as he is able to play off of the screen set by Colin, and from the right side, just throws it past Zero. So they were down 3-0 in this game. We are now knotted at 5 with 5:23 to go in the first half. Some comeback by Manhasset. And they have defined their season by dominating opponents in the second and third quarters, plus 39 coming into this game. And that tally is only increasing. There's a huge possession from Mepham, and some hit taken down low. Leads to a takeaway for Manhasset. Colin now operating the offensive attack. With under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. The physicality on full display in this one. So they'll shuffle personnel in and out here. And coming back out onto the field is Shear, who will bring it in. Shear gets it into the right side as Harley trying to give it up there. It'll stay in possession with Sheeran. They'll have 23 on the shot clock. O'Connor already with a goal. Does he have another? Yes, he does. Doc finds his mark for the second time today. Goal number 16 on the season, and Manhasset has stormed all the way back. They now lead 6-5 from the X position with his momentum going away from the cage. He was able to get around Heller. And the tables have turned here at Ed Walsh Field. So this is now even more of a critical face-off for Mepham, and they're going to be on the wrong end of it. Scooping it up is Kyle Melkonian, the senior. And he's going to take it coast to coast for the goal. Melkonian with his 4th goal of the season. The defensive midfielders now joining the party, and it's a 7-5 Manhasset advantage as their sideline going nuts. He just jumped up, took flight, and leapfrogged over multiple defenders, and it actually looked as if Ciro was shielded by his own teammate. And as a result, Melkonian came in with quite the force. Melkonian loves the physicality. He's a football player. And with that 6'2" frame, he didn't need to take that big of a jump. And one of the things that Keith Cromwell has talked about is the defensive midfielder position is a prime-time position on this roster because of the versatility and how they utilize them. And that latest play was a perfect example. Shear lost his footing there momentarily. 39 on the shot clock. Here's a good look. And Ciro puts his stick down to prevent O'Connor from getting a hat trick. Just over 3 minutes to go. And Manhasset, trailing by 3 in this game, now may have an opportunity to go up by 3. Colin's got an angle. So it'll stay with Manhasset. Five on the shot clock, and it does not look like they're going to get one off here. Good defensive stand by Mepham. And a much-needed stand as well. So with the clock ticking away here, with under 3 minutes to go, do the Pirates have enough gas in the tank to close the gap as we head to the break? And Mepham nearly got it. But Griffith able to get his legs and stick in the vicinity of that one. Manhasset trailed 4-1 after the first quarter. It has been a completely different story here in the second, as we'll have a timeout. And with that, we'll take a breather. A back-and-forth affair here in Manhasset, New York, with the home team leading Mepham 7-5 in the quarterfinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
We take a look at the college commits for Manhasset, and that is quite the list. Danny Colin, topping the charts. He's heading to Navy. We've heard a lot from O'Connor during this rally off to Colby College. Their goalie, Henry Griffith, Franklin and Marshall. And then Lehigh and Clark also claiming some talent from this roster, which has had an offensive clinic on full display here in the second quarter with 6 goals and with a chance to maybe make it 7 here. Leader has 1 of those 7 goals. Colin has 1 as well. Trying to milk some clock here as they get it into the X. Leader initially boxed out, and his shot goes wide, and Ciro was in perfect position as well. So Manhasset will hold on to it here with 16 on the clock. And turning and firing there was Palumbo, as he was on full display on the scouting report for Mepham this week, given what he has been able to produce in their last 2 games against Southside and Roslyn. And that shot a bit too high off the stick of Palumbo again. So they'll have 3 on the shot clock here. Can Colin set up a teammate? And that is going to do it. Shot clock violation. As Mepham taking over. Matt Biscardi in and out of traffic with authority. And we'll have another timeout taken here as Mepham has a chance to set things up with its final possession with under a minute to go, trailing by 2 goals. And if you could get it to 7-6 entering the break, that could be a huge difference maker, especially given how tight this game has been. But it goes back to what Ryan Walsh talked about earlier this week. He said he was impressed with the way his team stayed with some of the power conference opponents this year, specifically after 1 quarter. And that gave him hope and confidence that even in a matchup like this, that they could stay with Manhasset, and they absolutely have risen to the occasion. A Mepham program that does not have nearly the same rich history as Manhasset, but they have proven that they could produce some impressive talent as well, as we have seen a balanced attack. And speaking of that rich history from Manhasset, you look at the numbers: 22 Nassau titles, 16 in Long Island, 6 New York State championships, 2 back-to-back in 22 and 23, 69 All-Americans, and over 1,100 victories. And they're looking for yet another to try to move on to the semifinals at Hofstra, as the winner will play the winner of Cary and Long Beach, as we look at the banners on full display here at Ed Walsh Field. Final minute of the first half. And a huge possession here for Mepham. And that's broken up by Griffith and company. As Wallitis tried to slither through. Flag comes in. The first one of the contest with James Schmidt giving it up. And a ground ball. It's a hot potato. And Manhasset is able to scoop it up. But the flag coming in. Be a 30-second penalty. Goes against number 20, Mike DiPietro, the defenseman, sophomore, whose natural position was long pole, but defensive assistant coach Nick Armstrong liked him a lot on the defensive side of the ball, and that's why they made the switch. So he's going to have to be a spectator here, and a man advantage for Mepham, and Mepham's not going to take any chances here, as they are just going to let the clock run out, and they'll be content going into the locker room down 2 goals to number 2 seed Manhasset here in Manhasset, New York. What a first half between both of these teams as the offense came alive thanks to Kyle Melkonian, the defensive midfielder, with his 4th goal. They're up 7-5 over Mepham as we step aside on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Pole goal, yes! A man down pole goal as well. Busking, the skip somehow found its way through. BTB and a save! At the buzzer, we had
the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase is the premier opportunity for the high school players from Long Island to be recognized for their lacrosse skills. For over a decade, this event has been widely recognized as the premier event for exposure before college coaches of all levels. Players showcase their abilities while competing to earn a spot to represent their county in the Long Island Showcase Nassau versus Suffolk Games. Hosted in collaboration with the high school lacrosse coaches of Nassau and Suffolk counties, the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase had over 90 college coaches attend various rounds of the showcase. Make sure to register today.
Two-man game. Nice save up high.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media Sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash! What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
And how about this shot to welcome us back here for the start of the second half? One that Roy G. Biv would be quite proud of. A full double rainbow following the heavens opening up, both literally and figuratively speaking, during the break. The rain has stopped, the skies have cleared, and you're not going to get a more beautiful image than what our camera crew has done a fantastic job capturing here in Manhasset, New York. And Manhasset was able to rally the troops in the second quarter to move in front 7-5 after Mepham jumped in front 3-0, then had a 4-1 lead after the first quarter, but a 6-goal surge in the second quarter completely changed the direction of this contest. So the Pirates now have to play from behind, but they've got to feel very good about how their offense is operated against one of the top teams in Nassau County. The number 2 seed, Mepham, at number 7. And the winner will advance to Hofstra in the semifinals to face the winner of the 3-6 matchup going on as we speak between Kerry and Long Beach.
To where we need to have the shot clock, and then we can reset.
So they're just getting the shot clock lined up to the proper digit, and then we'll get the third quarter underway here in Manhasset, New York. So glad you could join us. Lance Meadow with you on Varsity Media Sports Network.
All set. Thank you.
A Mepham program that has had to fight and claw its way throughout the season to get to 10-7. 500 in its last 4. Now looking to jumpstart the offense yet again, as they have had a balanced attack. Connor O'Rourke with a pair of goals to lead the way. And he is on the right side of the field, and he'll now take over. He had a beautiful cut in front for one of his 2 goals. Right now, he has to get around Shear. A double screen, and that'll give it back to Manhasset, with Griffith getting set for the outlet.
We'll do it again. Leader.
Tommy Leader clearing it out.
Midfield line.
And the pressure now falls on the shoulders of this Mepham defense, trying to keep it a 2-goal deficit. Nice job there by Eamon O'Connell, boxing out the Manhasset offense. Manhasset with plenty of time on the shot clock here, so they'll wisely kick it out. And a flag comes in, and for now, it is a goal, as Danny Colin with his second goal to make it 8-5. The senior captain letting one loose from the left side as we take another look. That was a hard hit that Shear took to set up Colin. And Colin, right after the hit, a double pass off the left side.
Penalty is on number.
Penalty against Mepham. Goes against Paul Genovese, sophomore defensive midfielder.
1 minute man advantage.
And it's going to be a minute man advantage here for Manhasset. So they get a goal, and now all of a sudden, they've got a man up. And Mepham is going to win the faceoff and try to milk away this penalty. That's why that faceoff victory was significant. Because if they would have lost that and given Manhasset possession with a man up, facing a 3-goal deficit, you put this into 4-goal territory. The number may not seem huge, but with the way this game is going, it's not a direction that Mepham wants to head towards. Wallitis from the X position coughs it up, tries to retrieve it.
Mike DiPietro with the check.
And a nice job by Manhasset to check accordingly. So following the clear, here's Fitzpatrick. O'Connor out of the X.
All even.
Penalty has expired, so we're back to even.
0 with the stop.
And Mepham leaning on its defense, but we have not seen their offense match what we saw in quarter number 1, when they were spreading the wealth and finding shot after shot on goal. And that pass too high, but the outlet is stolen by Lubrano. As Lubrano loses control of it, and Griffith perfectly positioned. So every time it looks as if the Pirates are threatening, Manhasset closes the door and does it quickly. Another great clear by Manhasset. As both teams shuffling personnel in and out. Manhasset brings back Shear, who has 1 of their 8 goals as he operates along the right side. Manhasset just trying to space out this Mepham defense. Screen set by Colin to free up Leader. As Harley is able to bounce one through, and then another flag comes in from each side of the field. Cooper Harley with his 2nd goal from Manhasset, number 9. And you're going to see he's able to get around the defense, and from the left side goes opposite right side to swing it past Zero.
Dylan Shear on the assist from Manhasset.
An outstanding play from Harley, who's now up to 5 goals on the season. So think about it. He came in with 3, and he has 2 alone in this game.
Penalty on number 2. Nick Gamparo.
The penalty against Mepham charged to Nick Gamparo, their defensive midfielder, the senior who's committed to play football at Nassau Community College. A minute on the clock with another man advantage here for Manhasset. As O'Connor and Sheeran play catch, with Leader now joining the party. Just trying to get that Mepham defense to move. And that one, Ciro read beautifully. Colin not able to put it past him. And a near turnover for the Pirates. They finally clear it. They have only scored 1 goal since the first quarter. And that second, third dominance that has defined Manhasset's season was once again the biggest difference maker in this game. They were plus 39 in goal differential in the second and third quarters combined. And we're seeing the same thing come to fruition here today as the penalty expires. So back to even. Out of the X, it's Walaitis. And look at that defense by Michael DiPietro to prevent him from even getting a pass off. O'Rourke with 12 on the shot clock. Swarmed by 3 defenders, and it's a takeaway from Manhasset. And they're out in open space. Here's Melkonian spotting up a teammate for a goal, and yet another flag comes in. So Manhasset continues to put the pressure on Mepham's defense. Melkonian setting up another golden opportunity for Manhasset, as it is Palumbo that comes through with his first goal and make that 7 of his 14 goals coming in the last 2+ games. That is textbook distribution of the ball.
Nick Gampero on the penalty.
And Nick Gampero picks up his second penalty. So that's 3 penalties alone in this quarter. And when you are in the trailing position against the number 2 seed, it's the last thing that you can afford to have happen. And they're actually going to get against Biscardi. So here's Manhasset with a minute to work with yet again with a man advantage. Great ball distribution. Ciro able to break up the shot with yet another save.
With the rejection.
And he has faced overwhelming pressure here in the third quarter. He's been out on an island more often than not. As Mepham now just trying to clear it to get it into the attack zone. Ten goals for Manhasset, 3 players with multi-goal affairs. Colin, O'Connor, and Harley. And Melkonian, not known for his scoring, has a goal and an assist. As he's been extremely active, and it just shows you the depth and versatility of this roster. Manhasset again trying to gobble up the ball. Mepham on the attack, and that bounces right into the stick of Griffith from James Schmidt. So Manhasset not wasting any time. As they go from feeling the pressure, Matt and Franco taking it pretty much coast to coast to allow his offense now to take over and do the heavy lifting. With 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Manhasset Manhasset in cruise control, up by 5 goals, and this is the 11th time in 17 games they have scored double-digit goals. That is the art of consistency. As from the lefty position, Dylan Shear with a rocket past Zero for his second goal. So make that 4 players with multi-goal games, as he was able to switch up. Starts right, pivots back to his left, and Zero could not react quick enough.
Dolmeyer, Nick Field from Manhasset. Keogh. Braden Keogh
And Braden Keogh
for the Pirates.
will now try to battle Dillmeyer and get an additional possession here for Mepham, as Manhasset has not given the Pirates any breathing room. Whatever they were singing in the second quarter, they have followed that same tune here in the third. And no surprise, it's Colin Kelly coming through with the check, the takeaway, a beautiful outlet pass. Dillmeyer gets tripped up. A flag comes in late, and that is going to be the 4th penalty against Mepham. And Biscardi, who walks back to the side, very animated. So let's take another look. Here's Dillmeyer, and you're going to see he's going to collide with Biscardi. That's why Biscardi was annoyed, because he's arguing he could not react quick enough, given the offensive player was coming into his way. So it is going to be a technical foul for Biscardi. And as a result, it'll be 30 seconds on the clock, and what has been the story of this third quarter, a man advantage for Manhasset. Here's O'Connor. They started left to right. They tried to go back right to left, and nice takeaway there by Mepham. As Joe Sorrentino, the defenseman, coming through. So we'll take another look at the physicality that once again has been all over the place, and it's the stick of Colin Kelly that got the better of Sorrentino. So that is going to be, as a result, a minute on the clock due to the penalty. And now Kelly will have to watch. So this is now the first man advantage opportunity for Mepham. And this is a much-needed chance for the Pirates with 2 minutes. Can it jumpstart an offense that has just gone silent since the first quarter? Schmidt has a goal in this game, and he's going to stay at number 1 as that shot goes wide. Owen Heller, a staple of the program. He's been with the varsity team since 8th grade. As Manhasset again putting up that brick wall. And it is yet another takeaway. They have been relentless here in the third quarter. Connor Sheeran, he's one of the lone attackers still trying to get on the board. But instead today he's taken on more of a facilitation role. And it just goes to show you once again the depth He's one of their best finishers, yet we have not brought his name up much because he has set up his teammates instead. Under 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Colin. Is that one off the mark?
Colin's shot is wide.
So the final seconds ticking away here with 3 on the shot clock, and Manhasset's not even going to get one off, as that will lead to Mepham taking over off the shot clock violation. Well, Lightus will jumpstart it. As the lefty operating on the right side. He's trying to position back to his left. He takes some hits inside. A flag comes in. 2 seconds to go. And Mepham is not going to get a shot off, as that Manhasset defense, the story of the third quarter. They did a little bit of everything. A balanced attack by the number 2 seed to cushion their lead. As first it was offense, getting them into double figures. Their captain, Danny Colin, and then Colin Kelly with the long stick, clearing the way. 3 quarters in the books. It's Manhasset in front on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
So a penalty flag came in right at the tail end of the third quarter. Goes against Lachlan Fitzpatrick of Manhasset, their long stickman, due to slashing. So Mepham will have a minute advantage, potentially, here in the fourth quarter, as they trail by 6 goals with 12 minutes left in this contest in regulation. And an offense that put up 4 goals in quarter number 1, since then just 1. And this is yet a tremendous opportunity for them to infuse life into their offensive attack. They scored 16 goals in their first-round victory on Tuesday over Jericho. They had 12 in the first half, but it is a different script being followed here in the quarterfinals. As that pass a bit too high, and it is Manhasset that is going to steal the show yet again. So Manhasset now with an opportunity to just eat away at the penalty clock. And we'll have a timeout here, as Mepham wants to talk things over, trailing by 6 goals. Reminder that the 2025 Nassau County playoffs, you can stay locked right here to Varsity Media, your home for the Section 8 postseason. Go to varsitymediapass.com to order. as the number 2 seed Manhasset trying to punch its ticket to the semis at Hofstra, where they'll await the winner of 3rd seed Cary and number 6 seed Long Beach. But Mepham not going away without a fight. They came out electric. They took a 3-0 lead. It was 4-1 after 1 quarter, and then a 6-goal clinic in the second by Manhasset completely changed where this game was headed. As we look at Ryan Walsh talking things over with his squad. In his 2nd year as the head man, and trying to also change the culture of the program. Ed Walsh Field, the site here in Manhasset, New York. With only 40 seconds into the 4th quarter, so glad you could join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Lance Meadow with you. 6-goal advantage for Manhasset, as they will be in possession here coming out of the timeout.
22 seconds left in the penalty on Manhasset.
And Danny Colin just trying to circle around here to watch those seconds tick away on the remaining penalty. And he effectively is able to execute that. As you see Palumbo and Shear just playing catch. They'll now bring in Leader. And that did the trick. So the penalty is over. And we're back to even. Leader is able to bounce one through past Zero. So he comes right off the bench, and he immediately goes to work. Tommy Leader with his 2nd goal and his 24th of the season. Just got rid of it quickly as the defense was closing in on him. It was Genovese that was trailing, and Leader had a step on him. And you can see the versatility of Leader. He inks up the stat sheet. That is what Keith Cromwell said. He can facilitate. He's got a great shot. And he is one of 5 players with at least 2 goals in this game. So they scored 14 against Southside, 11 against Roslyn, now 12 in the quarterfinals against Mepham. It puts so much pressure on your opposing defense when you go up against Manhasset, because you have to defend the field. You got to worry about them cutting consistently. All of the things that Ryan Walsh was worried about have risen to the top, specifically in the 2nd and 3rd quarters. There's Griffith. He's trying to get his stick in the way of that offering. Mepham just trying to create something, and Griffith is not going to allow that flexibility, as he was able to get in the way yet again. And it was not smooth sailing for him in quarter number 1, but he has received so much offensive support since then that has changed his approach in this contest. And this is a team that averages just over 10 goals per game. So they have surpassed their mark as we approach 9 minutes here in quarter number 4. And that shot goes wide. Palumbo with his momentum riding away from the cage. Difficult angle there. But it will still be in possession here for Manhasset. Palumbo trying to draw the defense in. As the shot clock expires, and that will hand things back over to Mepham. Now, we have seen a penalty against Manhasset. We have seen a few shot clock violations, but the Pirates have not been able to capitalize. And stops are great, and turnovers and takeaways are fantastic, but it's all about what you do with them. And a golden opportunity, but yet another one that slips away from Mepham. A great check by Kelly to prevent a shot on goal, and that is a shot on goal that sails wide as Manhasset was trying to put the pressure on Mepham yet again. So they're going to wipe off the goal. It actually did go through. Goalie interference. So it'll stay 12-5. And you can see how quickly they got out in transition. Well, Lightus started the scoring. He's been quiet since. And it's Griffith that again interrupts his flow. It was Ciro that set the tone early, and Griffith has taken over since. And that had 13th goal written all over it. But too much height on the release. And it'll still stay a 7-goal game. Nice feed inside. And yet again, Manhasset puts the pressure on Ciro by spreading the wealth. As we take another look, look at the ball distribution here. Leader to O'Connor, setting up Sheeran for the score. We mentioned Sheeran was the one facilitating. Well, now he joins the party with his first goal, number 37 on the year, as that tops the team.
With the goal, Doc O'Connor with the assist.
So 8 different players have scored at least a goal in this contest for Manhasset. And Mepham just with a tale of 2 halves in this game. Mepham has produced 1 All-American in the history of its program, and as far as notable alumni, they have a few sports connections. Rune Arledge went to Mepham, longtime sports and news broadcasting executive. He was the president of ABC Sports from 1968 to 86, created programs such as Monday Night Football, ABC World News Tonight, Nightline 2020, and then Dean Blandino, also a product of Mepham. Right now a Fox Sports rules analyst. He was the NFL's VP of officiating from 2013 to 17 before he went into broadcasting. So a broadcasting theme from the Mepham program. As Manhasset tried to set up Sheeran in front. Now, when you talk about the Manhasset program, it of course starts with Jim Brown, the Pro Football Hall of Fame running back. Played for the Cleveland Browns from 57 to 65. He won 3 MVP awards. He was actually born in Georgia, and he moved to Manhasset when he was 8 years old. And it is on this field that he became a football star and an athletic legend, as Griffith doesn't even have to move to record that save. A statue, and just waves Mepham goodbye on that one. So Jim Brown led Nassau County in scoring twice in football, 51 and 52. and then he matched that feat in basketball as Manhasset is matching wits across the roster with goals. As we take another look, Colin rifles one to give himself a hat trick and the 14th goal of the day for Manhasset. He's got a long way to match Jim Brown, but they certainly have not missed a beat. So I was mentioning Jim Brown twice in basketball led Nassau County in scoring in 52 and 53. He actually still holds the Nassau County scoring record. He averaged 38 points per game in 1953. Brown was so athletic, so unique, so fun to watch that the Yankees even scouted him and offered him a minor league contract when he was in high school. But he decided that the chances of him succeeding in baseball were slimmer than the other two sports, and something tells me he made the right decision based on how his career panned out. And then the other product of Manhasset, Ken Howard, a late great actor who was known for his role as a high school basketball coach, and former Chicago Bulls player Ken Reeves in the TV show The White Shadow. He's also in several films, Clear and Present Danger, which stars Harrison Ford, The Net with Sandra Bullock, At First Sight with the late great Val Kilmer, Michael Clayton, The Judge with Robert Duvall and Robert Downey Jr., you name it. As that shot just over the crossbar. So we'll stay in possession of Manhasset. And Howard also was the president of the Screen Actors Guild for quite some time. So a little history from both of these programs. As Manhasset, with just under 4 minutes to go, is looking to advance to the semifinals. And Keith Cromwell, who has already led this program to 2 state titles, is going to try to inch closer to yet another. We've got a player shaken up for Manhasset down on the field, so that is why they have halted play. So the training staff and the coaching staff will come out to attend, as their offense has been electric in this contest. And it started with the 6-goal second quarter. And that broke this game open, and all they did was add layers of padding. And coming into this contest, you had 2 players with 30-plus goals in Colin and Sheeran, then Leader with 20-plus, and then multiple players in the team, Shear, O'Connor, and Palumbo, and every single one of those players chipped in. As you see, Cooper Harley able to walk off under his own power, which is very good news for Manhasset, as he receives a ovation from the crowd and an acknowledgement that he's okay. Harley with a pair of goals in this contest. And when you look ahead to the future of this program, Colin is a senior. They're going to lose their top captain, but Sheeran's a junior, Leader's a junior, Harley's a junior, Shear's a junior. O'Connor obviously will graduate as well, but a good part of the nucleus of their scoring attack is going to be back in the mix next season, which speaks volumes of the continuity that they have developed year in and year out within this program. Henry Ledbetter giving it up. There's Manhasset going a little bit deep into the depth chart now with a comfortable lead to run out the final 3 minutes. And that shot secured cleanly by Nick Lemus, who has replaced Vinny Ciro now in goal. Lemus started off as the starter, the senior. They split time, as I mentioned earlier, but after Ciro was so impressive in the non-league games, Ryan Walsh had no choice but to give the youngster an opportunity. And he is a significant reason why they took an early lead and had command of this game. It took some time for Manhasset to warm up to Ciro, but once they got a grasp of his tendencies, they took it to a whole other level and took the lid off of the cage. With under 2 minutes to go,
at midfield, number 14, Luke DiPietro.
Manhasset in total control of this one. As Garden City, the number 1 seed in the bracket, won earlier today 18-1. So the 1 and 2 is going to advance. We know that with certainty to the semifinals at least. And that shot in front, broken up.
Lamarca scoops up the TV.
As both teams working in their bench.
1 minute.
A minute to go here in the fourth quarter of this quarterfinal in Nassau County Class B. And the crowd letting the home team hear it. As the shot clock and game clock just about even, so Manhasset could really let this expire. But we'll see what the young guys choose to do, as they could get antsy in these situations, wanting to add to the stat sheet themselves. And some physicality leads to a breakup, as they're still fighting for the ground ball. You wouldn't be able to tell that this is a 9-goal game right now. And a flag comes in. So neither team ready to add an exclamation point just yet. And you can see that Keith Cromwell not pleased with what's going on here late in the game after his team built a comfortable advantage.
Penalty is on.
So 20.3 seconds to go. And 17 on the shot clock.
Penalty is on number 44 of Mepham, John Cracky, for unnecessary roughness.
So it was an unnecessary roughness penalty. And Manhasset from the X position is going to let the final few seconds tick away.
And the final score,
it'll be a final here in Manhasset, and it is the number 2 seed advancing to the semifinals with a commanding 14-5 victory over number 7 seed Mepham. They got 6 goals in the second quarter. That enabled them to overcome an early 3-0 deficit. And Manhasset's offense came alive with Danny Colin, their senior captain, posting a hat trick. And then 2 goals for Daniel O'Connor, Tommy Leader, Dylan Shear, and Cooper Harley. Quite the offensive showing for the number 2 seed, as they were impressive from the second quarter on. And that money statistic, plus 39 in goal differential in the second to the third quarter. All they did was add a few extra layers into that threshold, as they were able to get just about everybody involved in terms of the attack as well as the midfield. And this is a Manhasset team that will now walk away with its 12th victory of the season to go to 12-5 and gear up for their next challenge, which will come in the semifinals. It started early and it ended with a rainbow in the middle. The highlights left and right for not just Mepham, but also Manhasset, as it was their top guy, Danny Colin, who posted a hat trick, and even Colin Kelly getting involved with the long stick. The spread the wealth mentality worked to perfection. It adds up to a 14-5 victory. I want to thank our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney, camera operator, Ron Pierre, and Kevin Catalanato. I'm Lance Meadow saying so long from Manhasset, New York, where the home team advances to the semis at Hofstra. Have a good one.